Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are currently trying to recruit Lawrence into the company of heroes. He was their former master marksman, but first he wanted to tell us something. So let's look where he is. Oh, we are at the melee DPS Rolequest, if anyone doesn't know that. Where? Up here? Up here. Quite the view, wouldn't you say? I often come here to admire the sea. If you would, indulge me for a moment, I'll spin you a yarn. Just try not to doze off. Back in piracy's golden day, the League of Lost Bastards ruled the Rotano. I was one of them, as was Melrip. We were led by none other than her old man, Bluffison, the most feared captain of the high seas. Feared by his enemies, that is. Stern and unforgiving though he was, he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. Aye, he was like a father to me. To us all. Till that fateful day. Was in the year 1562 of the 6th Astral Era. Lumens and merchantmen were struggling with nigh constant raids by the Sargin. Around this time, Bluffus has yielded the day-to-day leadership of the bastards to Melrip, his pride and joy. She was still growing into the role though, and everyone knew the old captain was still calling the shots. All Bluffus had his noble streak, he did. Orders to defend the traders from the fishbacks. Melrip led the effort, and we fought day after day to keep the sea safe. The fighting was fierce, but we always came out of it in one piece. Until we didn't. Until after a skirmish, a Sargin survivor, with his last breath, summoned forth the Lord of the Whirl. The great beast toppled our masts and cracked the keel like an egg. We clambered aboard the merchantman as our own ship sank. Not to do but wait for the end, but then comes Bluffus and his bleeding flotilla out of nowhere and pull us out of the fire. And he did. But the League of Lost Bastards would never be the same again. For even though we escaped with our lives, we soon discovered that Captain Bluffus, our iron-willed, unwavering leader, had fallen under Leviathan's thrall. Cause in those days we didn't know much about drowning or tampering, didn't know what to make of our captain as he grew more haggard by the day, his words devolving into crazed ramblings. And one day he vanished, taking off with half our men. Not long after, a band of pirates calling themselves the Serpent Reavers began taking prizes in the Indigo Sea, alongside the Sargin. At the helmet was none other than Captain Bluffus, who'd cast his lot with the fishbacks. Mervet knew what had to be done, and to her credit, she didn't shirk from the deed. She acted quickly, sneaking off under cover of night with a skeleton crew without so much as telling me. Of course, that didn't stop me from stowing myself in the cargo hold and joining her on the voyage. She was none too happy to see me at first, wanted to leave me out of it, she said. But seeing as I made myself known when she was struggling to fend off a horde of reavers and fishbacks, it wasn't hard to win her over. Her twin muskets felling one after the next, as my sharpshooting kept us safe from afar. We cut a path to the center of the isle. It was there we found Bluffus, or rather, the miserable wretch he'd been reduced to. All bones with skin shriveled and a tangled mat of white hair, eyes bulging from his head like a fish as he prayed to the Lord of the Whirl. Mervet challenged him to a duel, and a dim memory must have flickered in his drowned mind, for he accepted. And so, with only me there to witness it, Mervet ended her father's life. Yeah, they don't have a haggard Rogadin look. The League of Lost Bastards would have lived up to its name if it ran from Melrip. She assumed full command and restored us to our former glory. Not long after, she triumphed in the Trident and was named Chief Admiral of Limsa Lominsa. I often think back upon that day, seeing her charge into battle, muskets blazing. Might seem reckless to some, but that's how Captain Bluff is taught her, and she knows no other way. That's why I made it my job to support her from the shadows, and it's a role in which I happily serve again. I owe that much to her, old man. My only doubt was whether you, my friend, were worthy of commanding me, but watching you from afar has answered that question. Aye, tell Vescate and the rest of my no-good companions that Lawrence stands with them. Did Lawrence show himself? He did, and he agreed to help. Ha! Now there's a surprise. I had some hope your words might reach him, but never did I imagine he would agree so readily. Just one thing this way. I'd appreciate if you didn't mention Lawrence's involvement to the company. London in particular. We'll find out soon enough regardless. Why? At any rate, this gives us new hope in our battle against the blasphemy. All that remains is to set the snare and lure the beast into our clutches. Our scouts are on the lookout for the creature as we speak. If the latest reports are to be believed, we're drawing ever closer. And with that, I'd best get back to it. Can I trust you to report these latest developments to the Maelstrom? Then till we meet again, Commander. The search for blasphemy continues, though I understand you've been carrying out an entirely different investigation. A marksman by the name of Lawrence, eh? The Admiral will be pleased. Of course, we won't have much to call for his skills until the blasphemy is found. Rest well and prepare yourselves as necessary in the meantime. Lawrence, why does it ring a bell? To calmer seas. Despite our best efforts, the blasphemy continues to elude us. For the time being, we... Sorry to interrupt, but I have incoming communication from Vescate. Yes? Commander, we snared ourselves a blasphemy. We have our erstwhile companion Wheel to thank. Knowing that the creature was once a Sargian queen, he kept a close eye on the spawning grounds. Sure enough, he spied a massive black shadow moving beneath the waters not long ago. After receiving word, Shamani Lomani directed the Maelstrom warships in the vicinity to herd the beast with cannon fire into the Sastasha Sea Grot. Isolated as the Sea Grot is, we can engage our foe without putting small folk at risk. Any word from your man, Commander? Company of heroes assemble. You don't have to tell me twice, I've been aching for a rematch. Rush in blindly and will go as poorly for you as it did the first time. Ha! Knowing you, I'm sure you show up just in time to see me deal the killing blow. Now, can we not save our victory for the quarry which I lured to the perfect spot that is now waiting patiently for all of you to put it out of its misery? Blayflock's the scummy booms blast over big blasphemy into bitty pieces. A motley like you never find, but we'll serve you well when the battle is joined, believe you me. Mrs. Mulweb, I will ready a warship at once. Assemble outside the wench once you've all seen to your preparations. So, the time has come. I shall pray for your victory. And Desiree, the others should be along soon. The blasphemy is still contained within the Sastasha Sea Grot. There it will meet its end, Navigator willing. Was it my brothers and I could join you in the fight, and yet, blasphemous though it may be, the beast was once our mother. I understand now. Forgive us for what we must do. If there are means to reverse the transformation, we would do all in our power to bring your mother back. Sadly, there's nothing left of her to save. For the future of Asagin and Limsa Lominsa alike, the blasphemy must be laid to rest. When the deed is done, I would bring your brothers, even the crushing tide, aboard the great ship we call Vilbrand. I do not want to slay your mother, but the thing she has become, a mindless beast who would enslave and kill her own, is an affront to the memory of who she was. It is not her. It is not. Remember this always. You must. I will not ask you to shoulder the burden of matricide. When the time comes to strike the final blow, I will do the deed. Shh, Admiral. All you say is true, and yet... Come on, then. I've set a group of fishbacks, crushing tide most like, heading straight for the sea god. You'd best make your way here, and fast. Time to move out, then. Any words for your men before we set sail? Don't go dying on me out there. Our new commander sounding more and more like the old one. But enough talk, it's time we show the realm that the company of heroes hasn't lost a step. Aye! Says everyone. We stand a better chance of slipping past the crashing tide if we split it up. Desmond and I will go together, while the rest of you take a different route. Let us brook no further delay to Sastasha. Shh, my queen, I beg of you, pray show your loyal son mercy. Blasphemy, the indigo beast. It's thou. What's left of him? Shh! Speak thou! Why would our queen do such a thing? It is as Shawwalkers say, what we fought the blessings and prove a terrible curse. For horror, we must away at once. And leave the Shawwalkers to face our queen mother alone? No, I will stand with them. You mustn't sully your hands with the blood of your mother. Go and be with your kin. Go. Shh, forgive me. I was beginning to think you wandered off a cliff, Lawrence. Must you say it like that? I prefer to think myself as fashionably late. But enough talk. It comes. It comes. We're counting on you, Lawrence. Leave it to me. No enemy's weakness escapes my eyes. Just one shot here and... Aye, there we go. How easy that was. Reckon you can do it too, Acting Commander. The triggers don't work on us anymore. Ain't that right, Acting Commander? If that's all you got, time to put you out of your misery. Ow! Web. Ow. I'm not certain who our healer is, but thank you, healer. Oh, my children. Where did it go? Best be wary. There's no end. Prepare yourself. Okay, everyone else is there too. blasphemy is absorbing the aether. I have a bad feeling about this. Best finish it quickly, but it doesn't look like it can be done quickly. Such power. Here it comes again. Steer yourself. We're down. Brave Locks feel ouchy. That's enough effort to go blasting this entire island. We'd better work fast. We stand with you. As do we, for the future of the Indigo Deep. The Wolf's gun. Hey, this is our chance to strike. They brought a freaking ballista.
I will not yield.
Come on. Teamwork. Death penalty. I will not ask you for forgiveness, but this I promise. You will be remembered for the mother you were. Admiral, I have no words. Our Queen Mother returns to the depths in eternal slumber. With your strength, you could have crushed us easily. Why did you spare our lives? The beasts and blasphemies are born from the despair in our hearts. But no more. I would break the cycle. Though thou may have been blind to it, I believe in a future where Sargin and Luminson live in harmony. Even after losing who she was, your queen made for your spawning grounds. It is where she drew her last breath. When your next queen is crowned, know that she will have a safe place to raise her young. Once you have selected a suitable location, Limsa Luminsa will recognize and honor your claim. A promise for which we are grateful, Admiral. But what of the other peoples of Wilbrand? The kobolds are open to the idea. The details will need to be negotiated, but I'm confident we can reach an agreement. Sargin, Kobold and Lominson alike yearn to abide in peace. We can make it so. What of the Nymeans? Are they just integrated into the Lominsons, or... We have them here. The Thornberries. I've never fought alongside showworkers before, but I must say, it felt good. We have fought our neighbors for generations. It has won us only suffering and tragedy. I beg of you, lay down your spears. It will take time and effort to bridge the gulf between our peoples, but bridge it we shall. Sneaking off. I dare say we have a lot of talking to do as well, don't we, Commander Lawrence? Lenel, if you just allow me to explain. Let's be off before they drag us into this mess. Forgive us for what we have done, Queen Mother. Why did we ever believe this monstrosity was a blessing? What fools we were. At last it's over. We can take pride in the respite we've won. We must never forget those who could not be here with us to enjoy it. Fighting with gobby friends gives Playflocks good feels. Wondering where I was during the battle? Well, I wasn't slacking off, if that was what you're implying. My duty was to protect the ship, to ensure our safe return. Truly. I dare say, that blasphemy was the most formidable foe our company has ever faced. I must further hone my skills, lest the next enemy prove too tough for us to handle. Who invited this bloody bastard anyway? I did. Oh there, good to see our acting commander hale and hearty. They're still arguing. Perfect timing, acting commander. You must save me from this bloodthirsty bastard. Well, Lawrence, let's hear your excuse. It better be a good one. Why in the 7 years were you sulking about in the shadows while we did all the dirty work? Like you'd not be any happier if I'd showed myself sooner. I can hear you winging now. What, you didn't think we could handle this on our own? Aye, I'd be bloody furious regardless. Don't think I forgot what happened. Or whatever didn't happen on the day of our duel. Even though the future of a company hung in the balance, I waited, and waited, and waited some goddamn more, and still you never turned up. But I've got you now, and I will have satisfaction. Given Lawrence's penchant for late arrivals, I couldn't help but worry too. To say he cut it fine would be an understatement. And not by choice as usual. My scouts observed him roaming near Costa del Sol not too long ago. It would seem our commander's woeful sense of direction is not improved in the least. I'm honestly surprised we never realized, Lenonel, that was to blame for his extreme tardiness. But the commander did indeed arrive at the agreed upon location for a duel, after the sun had risen and set a half a dozen times. Navigator, take me, Shamani. You promised it would stay between the two of us. Blayfox, you have a kind word or two for your old commander, don't you?
Commander Lawrence, Commander no more. New commander, friend to gobbies everywhere. Does many sweat works for gobby kind.
And where I thought you were too much of a coward to face me in battle. Come now, Londonell, you know me better than... When it's settled, we fight here now, on your guard. Put that thing down, I say. You could hurt someone with that. Hard to believe you was once the glue that held this merry band together. That's right. If you hadn't yet realized the obvious, Lawrence is our former commander. Forgive me for not stating it plainly sooner. I didn't want you to think we doubted your leadership. He's got his quirks, but as you saw, he's a force of nature on the battlefield. But he is. Anyhow, I think we can all say your stint as acting commander has been a rousing success. Now I reckon it's about time you gave your final order.
Company of heroes band break once more. Playfox never liked parting with gobby friends.
Here. I may have my complaints, but when we are together, a good fight's never far away. You hardly need a company or commander to get you to that. And should Limsa again be imperiled, there's nothing stopping us from rising to the occasion. Till then, you're all strong enough in your own right. Why not suffer weak in your own ways? At last it's over. We can take pride in the respite we've won, but we must never forget those who could not be here with us to enjoy it. It's time for you to do what I once did. Give your men their final orders and send them on their way.
Playfox wants busy work. Playfox awaits uplanders tongue flaps or lip flaps.
No more cheese wars, please?
Playfox feels heavy heart, but accepts uplanders bossy words. Playfox has good times, happy fields with gobby friends, but good times will come again, and when they do, new boomsticks will bring blasty doom with much fastness.
Well, let's see it, Commander. Let the company of heroes be disbanded. Indeed. I mean to return to Wineport as soon as I've tied up a few final loose ends here. Speaking of wine, I've always preferred the older vintages, left to sleep in their barrels for many a summer. They come out tasting better than ever. One might say the same about our own company. I await your orders, Commander. Look after you, brave Noon. I have responsibilities. A tribe at once for my guidance and protection. I can ill afford to tarry here much longer. Nevertheless, it will be with some regret that I take my leave. For all their faults, of which there are many, they are my companions, and I will miss them. Well, you've got something to say? Let's hear it. Let the company of heroes be disbanded. Ha! As if I need you to tell me. While I enjoy the diversion, I know as well as any that my true place is in Gridania, leading a respectable life. You may not have been the perfect commander, but 12 as my witness, I hope to fight by your side again. Farewell. You've had quite a turn of duty, but all good things must come to an end. Any parting words before we go our separate ways? Give Gagarujo my best regards. Ha, finally I can enjoy some semblance of peace again. At least so much peace as a man can enjoy waiting hand and foot on the Lord of Costa del Sol. It may be rough sailing at times, but I rather enjoyed serving under you, acting Commander Desiree. And on that note, I ought to be on my way. Slipping away again, are we? You're a creature of habit. I resented you for it at the time, you know. But I think I understand now. Better to shun fame and not serve as an example for glory seekers too eager to fight and too quick to die. You're overthinking it. I'm a creature of whimsy. A man who lets the tailwind carry him where it will. But more importantly, this new age belongs to the new blood. I've had my day in the sun. If you succeed in brokering peace with a beastman, there'll be no need to worry about primals and the company can go into permanent retirement. And then I can say I did right by the old man. If you hadn't been there for us both, I don't know if I could have pulled the trigger. Thank you, Lawrence. Brother. I did nothing. It was you who shouldered Captain Blurfis's burden, and that of the entire league. I'm sorry, Merweb. I know it hasn't been easy for you. But I dare say you've worked hard enough. Maybe us company folk aren't the only ones in need of retirement. But I said too much. Lawrence holding his tongue. Gods, you have changed. But yes, my greatest test is Admiral still lies ahead, as we steer the great ship Wilbrand toward a new future. Ha, you truly are your father's daughter. I owe you my thanks too. Dessa, you did almost as good a job keeping my man to task as I could have done. Call it a hunch, but something tells me our paths may cross again. But forgive me if I carry on like I've never seen you before. Not unlike my old friend Mistbeard, I prefer to keep my past in the past. So they want to reuse the character, but they cannot guarantee that he has any special remarks about having met before. And with that, I'm off. Take care of yourselves. The blasphemy is no more, but we will never know lasting peace until the crashing tide agrees to lay down their arms. It will be a daunting task, but as we saw in Sastasha, they are not beyond reason. I will do all in my power to see that your efforts and the sacrifices of my brothers were not in vain. Forgive us. Even after being freed from a false god's thrall, still we clung to our hateful beliefs. It was easier to hearken to Speaker Dao's every word and turn a blind eye to the harsh truth. Easier and cowardly. I will return and speak with my brothers of a crashing tide. I will tell them of our Queen Mother's sacrifice and the vision of hope you have shared with us. I ask only that you give us time and trust us to make our own decision. You have my word. If you would not be averse, let us return to the spawning grounds together. Adventurer, I have no words to express my gratitude to you. I will repay you the only way I know, by doing my part to usher in a new age, where showworkers and Sagins stand as one. Good, thank you. Just us now, it would seem. Ever since we achieved a measure of peace with the kobolds, I prayed that this day would come. Though it is, of course, only a beginning, negotiations must be held, and words exchanged in earnest will invariably lead to flared tempers and bruised egos. But such things always accompany meaningful progress. The history of Wilburn is one of bloodshed, but we have a power to change our ways. After all, it's clear we are united more by our similarities than we are divided by our differences. I will share what I have seen of a Sagin with my fellow Lominsans and listen closely to their doubts and concerns. For it must be a harmony not foisted upon them from above, but one which they aspire to of their own free will. Not that Noel and his brothers feel the same. Again, you have come to Lominsa's aid, my aid, at a time we needed it most. When we meet next, I hope it will not be as admiral and adventurer, but as friends. Maybe trading war stories over ales of a wench. I would like that. But for now, I must return to my duties. Drafting reports and decrees is hardly the most exciting part of my role, but it's a necessary one. If you happen to pass through Razatan, pray share your exploits with our delegate there. Doubtless he will be interested to hear your first-hand account. One day I will lay down these muskets of mine for good. But not yet, father. Not yet. Desiree, you return. Pray tell what news from the homeland. Extraordinary. And a chance at peace with a Sagin? These are heartening tidings indeed. Without a doubt, you've helped to dispel the pall of despair that once hung over all Wilbrand. Our people now bask in newfound hope. I must share the news with the others. Full glad will they be to hear the threat to Limsa is no more. Thank you again, my friend. You can now dye the drop specific gear of level 90 for melee DPS. More than loss. That were the last of a Rolequest, and like in Shadowbringers, there is a final quest when you're finished with all of them. But we will not do this today. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.